The Department of Justice and more than a dozen states have filed a landmark antitrust lawsuit against one of the world's most valuable and influential companies. Federal prosecutors accuse Apple of illegally engaging in anti-competitive behavior to build its business and maximize its profits. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland says Apple has maintained its status as a tech giant because of its, quote, unlawful exclusionary behavior rather than its superiority.
Monopolies like Apple's threaten the free and fair markets upon which our economy is based. They stifle innovation. They hurt producers and workers, and they increase costs for consumers. If left unchallenged, Apple will only continue to strengthen its smartphone monopoly. But there's a law for that. The Justice Department will vigorously enforce antitrust law.
Now, for its part, Apple says if successful, this lawsuit would hinder the company's ability to create its technology. The tech company also said it would create a, quote, dangerous precedent by empowering the government to influence how tech is made. So what's really going on here? CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane is tracking all of this from Capitol Hill for us. Scott, what else can you tell us about what the DOJ is alleging in this lawsuit? Because to the rest of us, Apple is an innovation company. The government seems to say that's because it's not playing by the rules.
Errol, the U.S. Department of Justice is doing something exceptionally bold here. They are taking on a giant of American industry and one with which Americans are quite familiar, the producer of so many of their smartphones. What the Department of Justice is arguing is that Apple unfairly, potentially illegally, locks in its customers and locks out competitors with what it does with third-party apps, making them difficult to navigate, if not impossible to use in concert with an iPhone. They, the Department of Justice, have taken this move under antitrust law to try to force Apple to change some of how it does its business. And one of the things that landed in the room as we listened to the Attorney General a few moments ago is when he said when the United States of America tends to challenge something in court, it tends to win. So it'll take some time, but the Attorney General seemed optimistic the U.S. lawsuit will affect some change at Apple. But you mentioned a key component of Apple's response here. They're making this argument, Errol and Lana, that this lawsuit and the threat of an antitrust lawsuit will chill their ability to further innovate and offer new products to new customers.
Fascinating developments there, Scott. I want to turn to something else taking place where you are. We've spoken about earlier in this broadcast Russia's attack on the Ukrainian capital. Some House members now pushing for a rarely successful parliamentary move in an effort to provide funds to Ukraine. What's happening there?
According to our latest CBS News reporting, there are now 15 moderates in the U.S. House who have signed on to this petition, this procedural parliamentary technique used in the U.S. House to try to force a vote as soon as possible on billions of dollars for Ukraine, which the administration and supporters of Ukraine say is desperately needed because they're running out of money and they're running out of munitions. They'll need 218 signatures to make this happen, but the 15, according to sponsors of this effort, is a starting point, and dams could break as the days move on here in Congress. We listened to one of them. Jen Kiggins, a first-term Republican from Virginia, explained why she signed on to this bipartisan effort.
We know that the world's not a safe place. We know that our friends need help right now, a lot of our friends around the world. And Congress hasn't taken action. And it's become very frustrating for people like me who were new to Congress, who ran and flipped a tough district last year because we really cared about that issue specifically. I care about keeping America strong and protecting our strong military. And I feel like I haven't been afforded the opportunity to actually take a vote on things I care about, on aid for our friends.
Errol and Lana, House leadership has said once they button up government spending and avoid a shutdown tomorrow night, they're going to shift their attention towards foreign aid, including for Ukraine. But the sense in Congress, according to our latest reporting, is that there are members who think this will pass. Ukraine aid will be approved if and when it's put on the floor, but that the sluggishness to get it on the floor is endangering Ukraine and the war effort.
So many big topics there, from the DOJ taking on Apple to funding for Ukraine. Scott MacFarlane, we appreciate you being across all of it. Thank you.
Thank you.